Right. Over the past 3 weeks, LGBT activists have been bullying the Walt Disney Corporation into taking action against legislation that they claim is hateful. Now, Disney has removed all doubt that despite their Pinocchioian claims to the contrary, LGBTQ activists control the strings on Disney. Failing to fully engage against Florida's parental rights bill earlier this month when the strings were pulled by activists, Disney leadership has announced this week that they would take action against Texas's effort to protect children from castration, puberty blockers, and infertility inducers, procedures that the Texas Attorney General determined last month to be child abuse under Texas law. Joining me now to talk about this is the Attorney General for the Lone Star State, Ken Paxton. General Paxton, welcome back to the program.
Always glad to be on, Tony. Thanks a lot.
All right, before we get into Disney's actions, the Texas Third Court of Appeals put on hold the investigations by the state into these child abuse actions, which could be these actions regarding trans treatment, which could be child abuse. You have filed with the Texas Supreme Court. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's Austin court, the appeals court, relatively liberal, very democratic. Put it on hold, put a stay on the investigations by the state, and we're hopeful that the Texas Supreme Court will recognize the ability of the governor and the agencies that serve under him to investigate what we believe under Texas law is child abuse.
I mean, it's the law, Texas law. You were asked by a state legislator, state lawmaker, what does the law say? You told them what, according to the review, the law says, and as a result, the state has acted upon that. Now, Disney, earlier this week at a company-wide meeting with staffers, the leadership reportedly announced that it plans to take action against Texas on this issue. I mean, what kind of action are they talking about?
You know, that's such a great question, because when I saw that, I read the article, I had the same question. I'm like, what is Disney going to do to Texas? We're following our state law. Unless they want to come in and, unelect our legislature and have them change the laws, I don't think that Disney is as powerful as they may be. I don't think they have the ability to change state law in Texas. Not that I know of.
I mean, it's not like they have a park there in Texas that they can threaten to shut down, which would actually be a good thing. But what this shows is that Disney is stepping up their efforts really to oppose parents. Because what we're talking about here is we're talking about protecting children. We're talking about, in many cases, parental rights, which is what triggered this thing many, many years ago. I mean, what do you make of Disney?
Well, you know what? This is a shocking issue to me. We're talking about children. These are. I've had 4 children. They're now adults in their 20s. I don't think they would have liked too much if I had changed their sex irrevocably, or changed body parts, or given them some type of chemical treatment that took away their choices when they were an adult. This is really a decision in the end that needs to be made by an adult person, not a parent who's making a decision for a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old, a permanent decision that's irrevocable. It's just, in my opinion, I don't even know why we're talking about this and why this is even an issue.
Now, so we're very clear on this. What, under Texas law, you have determined to be child abuse are those things that are, once they're done, they can't be changed. You're locking children into a path that would change their sex that would be irrevocable. You cannot change them. It cannot be turned around. This is a permanent change of their body, or it would be very harmful on them.
Yeah, and I think that anybody who's had children knows that they change, right? They change when they're 5, they change when they're 8, they change when they're teenagers, and they change when they become older. It's the reason we don't let children make certain decisions like signing contracts or make other irrevocable changes in their life. It only makes sense to let something that is going to permanently change them, either through some type of chemical treatment or some type of surgery, and affect their ability to have children and affect their ability to use. It doesn't make sense to take that away from them.
And that's what we're talking about here. Things that are either through chemical modification or change or surgeries. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about counseling. We're not talking about them claiming to be the opposite sex. We're talking about taking medical steps that would change their bodies. That could be, as you said, they're permanent.
Yeah, and I try to make that point to people that this is, I mean, these are children that we are going to parents. They would have a traumatic impact on their future, and if an adult wants to make that, that's up to them. It's their decision, and they can change their life forever if they want to. But a child should have the opportunity to make that decision later on in life.
Agree 100%. Attorney General Paxton, thanks so much for joining us. When do you expect to hear something from the Texas Supreme Court?
I'm hopeful that it's very soon, because we need to get back to having these investigations for sure.
Yeah. It's been amazing, folks, to watch how the media has dealt with this. I mean, the media has just become intoxicated with this whole trans thing. They're tripping over themselves to, I guess, in their wokeness. I don't know. It's quite amazing how